It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Buckle in.
Time to talk cars for the next 60 minutes on your weekly automotive radio show. I'm Nick Miles. You're listening to America's automotive radio show, Test Miles, locally created, nationally celebrated. This morning's team includes Misfits, Rapscallions, Ne'er-do-wells, Sean Walker, everybody's favorite dad, Brad Boyer, except by his kids maybe, and also our savant intern Zhenya is here. I want to take a moment to wish a local automotive journalist a happy birthday, Barbara Schaefer. Very happy birthday to you. A glass of Prosecco on Test Miles, you classy Italian lady. Also, racer Kyle Keenum, his birthday today. I hear he's actually shorter than me. And Jamie Holmes from Coin celebrates her birthday as well. Okay, this is the part of the show when we talk about and review the cars that we have been test driving for the week. I did a couple of back-to-back tests. Did the Lexus GS and ES. So let's talk about the GS first of all. I think probably my favorite of the two. Four-door full-size sedan, capable handling with refined ride comfort, high-quality interior, cutting-edge safety, and of course a pretty good entertainment system. Electronic interface could be a little bit distracting. I find the base system that Lexus Toyota use for their infotainment was challenging. They've done a lot of improvements to it. Let's talk about engines. 3.5-litre V6, 306 horsepower, 6-speed automatic or 8-speed automatic, rear-wheel or all-wheel drive. Fuel economy is not bad. I will tell you, I do prefer the hybrid, who gets much better fuel economy, but for the regular engine, 23 miles combined, 19 city, 29 highway. For the all-wheel drive, 21 combined, 19 city, 26 highway. What does it go up against in the competition? If you're shopping for the Lexus GS, you're probably also looking at BMW's 5 Series, Mercedes E-Class, Audi's A6, Infinity's Q70, Acura's RDX, if you're looking for something in the SUV lineup. Not quite so luxury, Chrysler's 300 or the Volvo S80. I will tell you, the GS is kind of a difficult one because it seems to bridge two different classes. You're talking about mid-size and full-size luxury, so it sort of sits right there in between. There are a number of trim levels, the 350, 350 F Sport, the 450H, which is a hybrid, and the 450H F Sport. Of course, that was the best of all worlds, driving the Sport. $55,135 is not a bad starting price, I don't think, for that car. Turning to the ES, this is a full-size sedan. It's smooth V6 engine, very comfortable. Not quite as sporty as the GS. Its handling is luxurious. It's well-built interior, lots of legroom. Navigation system, again, the interface between the ICE, in-car entertainment, and navigation, kind of tough. 3.5-litre V6, a little less horsepower, 268, 6-speed automatic, front-wheel all-wheel drive, 24 miles a gallon combined. That's 21 city, 31 highway. And again, up against pretty much the same cars. Trim levels, 300H, 350. So this is sort of the smaller car. I know a lot of racers, and 38,940. So the GS being the bigger car, the more powerful car, and the one with a lot more options, and actually the one with a new front end as well, since they redesigned it, showed it off at Pebble Beach for the first time. I think if I'm looking for cars, either the ES or the GS, I'm going with the GS. $20,000 more, maybe $15,000 more, but I think the car is so much better. Whichever they are both two very fine vehicles, and I would have no trouble owning either of them. Sean?
I've been driving the Toyota Tundra Crew Max, and I really love the interior in this truck. I've been wanting to drive it since it was released, I don't know how long ago, 5-6 months ago. And its competition's the Chevy Silverado, Ram 1500, and Ford F-150. And I think it's a better truck than all of those. The fuel economy on it's kind of bad. It gets 13 miles to the gallon on average. And to me, when you're getting like 20 and 25 out of the F-150 and the Ram, the fuel economy is pretty bad. But other than that, it's a great ride.
Imagine what happened if you had to load this up with concrete and plywood and tools.
I think long term, though, this truck will outlast those trucks. It's built tough, and I mean actually rugged, and actually drives.
That's a Ford slogan.
I know, and I said that, but it's like the way this truck handles, it drives like an old school truck, but it's very easy to move around in parking lots and everything.
Do you think American truck buyers can settle for Tundra? Because really, let's be honest, this truck has had a hard time getting a foothold in the marketplace.
And I understand that because it's like basically the buyers that go out for trucks now, they're so diehard that they grew up a Chevy or a Ram or
a Ford
and that's what they want. And no matter what, that's what they're going to get. And I believe if they even just drove this truck, they would like it.
You think the Titan's going to make any headway in this this market? Not at all.
That's why I didn't
even
put
with
it
that
in the competition.
Cummins diesel with the engine.
Maybe I doubt it.
I think it's going to jump all over the competition.
I highly doubt it, though. Right.
Let's see. Mark this date, September 27th on the calendar. Let's go back to next year, see how Titan sales are. I think it's with the Cummins diesel in it. I think it's going to.
So we're marking this date to see if Sean is wrong.
Yeah.
Do we do that every day?
When? When, Sean?
Okay. When is Sean wrong? I don't think he'll beat up again or go up against the Ram or some of the other diesels.
Well, the Ram might be a challenge for it, but there is not a diesel right in the Ford, and there's not a diesel in Silverado.
It's a mistake, but I'm not making the trucks. The interior on this truck is actually one of the best things. They have hand-stitched little stitching patterns all through it, little cross patterns, and I actually enjoyed that they have a spot for a cell phone. Right. In the center console, you can actually put your cell phone in there. It doesn't slide around, and it's not a cup holder, which more manufacturers need to start doing.
You know, let's think about that. I think more people use cup holders for their cell phones than anything else.
Because there's no other place to put a cell phone.
Right.
And this place, there's actually a divot in the center console to lay your cell phone.
Yeah, they do really well with that. I always like the Venza because when you plugged any of your items in, there was places for the cables to go, which were like through the center console and out. So
Toyota is the only manufacturer that actually gets that you need a place for your cell phone. And how to hide a bunch of cables because you don't want to
actually, that's not the Silverado has a place for cell phone too.
Silverado has like 50 USB jacks, so you can hide it somewhere.
15, only a 35 exaggeration, but not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Good price?
You can get into one for $2,800. The one that I was test driving was $47,000.
Yeah, that's the trouble with these cars.
Yeah.
Is you like $2,800 starting, but then it's double the price if you want something you really want to drive.
Yes,
Brad.
I had a chance to drive the new 2016 Nissan Maxima, which is their full-size luxury, kind of an entry-level luxury vehicle for Nissan.
4DSC, four-door sports car. That's what they call it.
Is that
4DSC?
Well, as a sports car, it looks like a sports car. It doesn't quite match up to its design because it's fully redesigned, and it's really to be differentiating between that and its sister car, the Altima.
Right. Which
and that
now
was
they've
kind
made
of
the Altima
problem.
look exactly like it.
Yeah, of course. Right. But all 5 trim levels on this vehicle come with a 3.5-liter V6, 300 horsepower, and 25 combined mileage. So it's pretty solid on that.
I will tell you the Kia Optima, I think, was probably the favorite in the class. This may take the number one spot for me. This car.
It had everything. What I really liked is they stepped up the interior on this vehicle.
Yes, they did.
And my favorite feature, being a bigger, girthier kind of guy, is their zero-gravity seats that I first drove in the Altima a few years ago. NASA designed, where it takes all the pressure.
Feels like you're sitting on the Michelin, man.
Yeah, you can drive 3 hours and not feel it at all. Right. So it's great.
Alcantara, too, right, on the interior.
Yes. And it does come with a couple of USB ports, so Sean will be happy about that, unlike the VWs. And base price for the S starts at about $33,000. You can go through 5 different levels up to the Platinum, which starts at $39,900, but prices tested is about $45,000.
My favorite feature on this car and the navigation screen, if you have your navigation screen, you can swipe it so it goes in between the gauges. So you can grab it in the corner and pull it over, and it jumps in between your tachometer and your miles per hour.
It's spectacular. The
speedometer.
The thing that I really like too, and on the Platinum, it's available. The 360 camera. Mm-hmm. Nissan does a nice job with their in-car cameras.
Yeah, they were the first company to do the 360 around view monitors.
It was, I think, the first time I drove that was in the Quest, and that was really handy.
Very first vehicle was 2008 in the what is now the QX50. Was the FX 45, 35 at that point. Yeah.
So it competes with the Avalon, which does have a bigger back seat. The Maxima's so-so interior space. Also the Acura TLX, which is kind of interesting because that's theoretically that next level up luxury car.
Right.
And maybe the Hyundai Azera. But it's top of the list for me.
Out of those cars, I'm thinking the Maxima is probably my choice.
I agree.
I think maybe the Toyota, the Avalon's kind of nice. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. All right, Brad, thanks very much. Coming up on the show this morning, we're going to be talking a little bit about an event that happened in the Northwest over the last week or so. 25 cars, 25 journalists. We drove them all around the Northwest, despite the fact the Chinese premier was trying to interrupt us and close freeways down. We'll also be talking about big news. VW, of course, the diesel scandal deepens this morning with a letter from Bosch that says 2007 was the first time they were warned about misleading the public. All that coming up on Test Miles, FM News 101 KXL. I'm Nick Miles.